So it is March the 7th, Ignite and Shine, Team Junction, and tonight I'm going to do my very best to condense and share so much like what I think is geeky fun science information about Shakeology with you in a short period of time. And then also ways to hopefully be able to share the value of Shakeology more comfortably and better with our customers. To start out with, just a little bit of my Shakeology story that honestly I never even put together until the last couple of weeks. But in college and since then, I've had issues with IBS. In college, it was to the point where I was in and out of the hospital having different tests and scans and trying to figure out what the heck was wrong with my stomach. And it turns out it was very much stress related. Like every time I had a big test, I had these issues. And so I figured out a little bit of how to manage it myself. A lot of that included not eating the day before a test because food made it so much worse. So there was some unhealthy stuff going along with the fact that I was stressed out. So I guess over time I kind of figured out how to manage it, but it was still something that would flare up, even after Nick and I got married and I moved away, I had a miscarriage, all these different things, and I would have the same issue. But when I think about it, maybe one time since I started Beachbody and Shakeology has it happened, and I'm pretty sure it was right before Nick came home from deployment, and that is the only time I can remember being in this pain where it's just an unbearable pain. And I think that's amazing. Suddenly I don't have this issue anymore. I hardly have migraines anymore. Before starting Shakeology, I had migraines multiple a month. I was on medicine for it. And like I said, it never even clicked with me that the use of Shakeology, exercise, and better nutrition was probably why I don't have these issues anymore. So I would just challenge y'all, in the next few days, whatever, think about things that may potentially have changed for you since you started drinking Shakeology. Maybe it's, not some huge significant thing, but what is it that is your story, relatable, that you can then share, obviously, with other people, and it's just another piece of your story. Secondly, I think shifting our focus to building the belief in Shakeology from the get-go is going to create long-term clients, long-term coaches, long-term success for all of us. And when I say from the get-go, I mean, for me personally, I'm really good about building the relationship with somebody. I know what their goals are. I know what they want. I know what kind of exercise they enjoy and don't enjoy. And so I have no problem matching them to a workout program that's not 21-day fix or that's not PIO or whatever. I've honed in on that part of it. But then I'm really good about just slipping in there. Oh, and by the way, you get this awesome bundle and it comes with Shakeology and it's the healthiest meal of the day and you're going to love it and it's going to help you lose weight. And there's this discount. And while that is all true, it's not the best way to put it out there and to help people believe in Shakeology from the very beginning. The way we help them to learn about it and believe about it is to teach them about it. And so doing that from the get-go, having this conversation with them and helping them understand what Shakeology can really do for them, I think is what's going to create clients for us that continue to use Shakeology because they love it. And coaches that become coaches not only because they love the program that they're on and they lose weight or whatever, but also because they love Shakeology. I think, obviously, those of you that are on the call, this business is important to you and building the business is important to you. So when I started really deciding to build my business, I chased coaches left and right because I believe now I had not built the belief in Shakeology. And they weren't, 1 month they would be active and they didn't drink Shakeology every day. And So it might be 2 months and then they'd be active again. And the whole time I was chasing coaches trying to build my diamond because I had no like huge solid foundation. Do you see what I'm saying? So now in the very beginning, before they were even a client signed up, they believe in Shakeology. And then when they start using it and seeing the difference, they're going to be loyal and love the program and love the product like we do. So I think one of the biggest mistakes we can make, and one thing you need to do, is differentiate Shakeology. It is not a protein shake, and it's not a weight loss supplement. It's not something that somebody can go to GNC and buy or Walmart and buy. When you market Shakeology as a weight loss product, it's almost like you're limiting your market, because when they lose their weight, they might feel like, well, I don't even need it anymore. Why am I going to spend $130 on something that, well, I lost weight, so why do I need to keep drinking it? If that's the way they felt that it was supposed to be used for from the get-go. But not everybody is going to want to use Shakeology for weight loss. I think in the past 6 or 12 months, maybe, I specifically have had somebody, Alma, maybe Taryn, a few people wanting to, let me mute everybody. If you just hopped on, make sure you're muted, please. Want to gain weight. And so it's kind of doable to, help somebody with the nutrition side of what they need to have in their diet for extra calories to gain weight. But if we've marketed Shakeology as this thing that's going to help people lose weight, we're going to have a really hard time helping them see that, well, actually, you could use Shakeology to gain weight if you used it for a snack and added extra calories and did not use it as a meal replacement. So just basically helping people understand that Shakeology is nutrition. It's not weight loss. It's not protein. It's a meal replacement. It's a vitamin. It's a mineral. It's nutrition that our bodies need. And it can be used for everybody specifically. I mean, it can be used in all these different situations. I think one thing too, when you are having conversations with people, and this is probably something that you've talked about with people and you may not even remember or like specifically have given it a name, but when you think about it, there's like this diet cycle. And so when somebody gets started, they've decided what they're going to do. They're going to cut their calories or cut their carbs or whatever. And for like the first week, maybe they do okay. And then they get to week 2 and they feel like crap and they're hungry and they want snacks and they're craving all this stuff and they're tired and they feel like, I can't do this anymore, and so they give up. I think one thing that's really important is to help people understand that those kind of diets don't work. And the reason they don't is because they're nutrient deficient. And even when you focus on clean eating and you like follow the 21-day fix to a T, like that kind of meal plan, you're still nutrient deficient. And I'm saying that because I'm going to read you something from the Journal of American Medicine, which is like what doctors read. Okay. It says that it was found that 100% sufficiency was possible for all 27 essential micronutrients only when daily calorie intake requirement averaged 27,575 calories. Hello? You can't eat that. Then it goes on to say that diet plans using whole food nutrition alone would still be on average deficient in 56% of the daily required intake for the 27 micronutrients. But guess what? Shakeology has all this stuff that we aren't getting in a diet. Even when we try really hard to eat clean 100% of the time, we still don't get everything that we need. But Shakeology has that. So to go back to the diet cycle, when you're talking to people and they're like, I've tried this, I've tried that, it doesn't work for me, I just can't lose weight, whatever, you can explain to them. It does work. You're not a failure. What happened is your body was screaming for things that you weren't giving it. not because you did it intentionally, but because you just didn't know that you were nutrient deficient. But Shakeology can prevent that from happening. When you have Shakeology in your system, and you never allow your body to get nutrient deficient. That's why 4, 5, 6, 7 days into this, people feel so great on Shakeology because they have the nutrients that they need. Their body's getting what it wants, and they never get to the point where they're craving all this crap, or they feel tired and they feel sluggish because their body has what it needs. Cravings don't just go away magically. It's good nutrition. So to tie that back in, it's not a protein shake. It's not a weight loss product. It's good nutrition. Another thing you can help your clients understand, which these are some things that we already know, but some benefits of Shakeology. It's easy, it's fast, it's right there on the counter. It can save time in the mornings. As a team full of busy people, whether we stay at home or we work out of the home, we're busy. That's something that you can relate to. People are busy. This is something that's quick and easy for them. Again, it's whole food. It's whole food nutrition. It's their vitamin. So they don't have to buy an extra multivitamin. They've already got that in their Shakeology. And then it covers your basic nutrition needs for the day. Also, it's, like I said a little while ago, flexible for individual needs, whether it's to lose weight, to gain weight. We can work with these people one-on-one to help them make Shakeology fit into whatever it is that they need it for. When you are talking to people about the price, like a couple of times I've had somebody say, well, I can't, I don't want to start out with the $130 bag. Can I have a sample so I can see if I like it? Because what if I don't like the taste? I think it's important to, which this is something that we've talked about before too, but people see value in something that they have to invest in. So even if it's $5 for a packet, you didn't give them a sample. You sold them a packet. So when somebody asks you, you can say, I have individual serving packets. They're $5 a piece. How many do you think you would want to try? And here you can tie in your clean eating group. I would recommend starting with 5 packets because after, and I'm going to explain this in a little while, but during the first 4 to 5 days, some pretty cool changes are going to happen in your body and you're going to start to feel better. And I have this awesome group that I do every month where I give you a clean eating nutrition plan so you can get both Shakeology and a clean eating meal plan. I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody to say no to that. It's important to set the stage for what they're going to feel like if they do the 5-day thing or if they order a challenge pack. You want to explain to them kind of what I just said. The first 4 to 5 days, they might feel crummy. Not only are they eliminating sugar from their bodies, caffeine probably, but Shakeology is like cleansing their system. It cleans out, like Roto-Rooter, it cleans out your intestines, your stomach, your gut during the first few days so that your system is primed and it's ready to absorb the nutrition that we're going to continue to give it as we continue to drink Shakeology. So you can help them understand from the get-go the process that's going to go on. And again, like you having that knowledge and having the confidence to talk to them about it in that way is building the value of Shakeology. It's showing that we're not just like, here, drink this supplement because it's going to make you feel good. Like, we know what it is, we know what it does, and we know for a fact why it works and why it makes people feel so good. Obviously, we want to show them how to make it. Don't just sell somebody a packet and hope that they blend it the right way or whatever. Because honestly, after learning all of this stuff about Shakeology, I could care less if it was the worst tasting thing ever. I would still drink it and I would still give it to my child in some way, shape, or form. But we can't tell our clients that from the get-go because that wouldn't work very well. So make sure that they know how to blend it, how to make it taste good, how to make the consistency better for when they're first getting used to it. So if you are having them join your clean eating group, obviously there's recipes for that in the menu. If you're just sending them one package, write out a little menu, write out a recipe on the note card that you send them or print it out. There's lots of different ways, but just make sure that they know how to make it the right way. And then follow up with them. And just since starting our clean eating group today, I have a few people drinking Shakeology. So I'm going to follow up with them tomorrow. And this will be the first time I've followed up with somebody about not just did they like the taste of Shakeology, but, you know, true follow-up the day after they've had it for the very first time. Because maybe they didn't mix it right the first time, or maybe it tore their stomach up because it has so much fiber in it, and we need to have them start out with just half a scoop because maybe they're not used to that much fiber. So if you're following up with them and if they're having issues and you catch it early and you work with them to figure out what it is that we can do to make their experience better so that they can get the benefits from Shakeology, that's going to be better for everybody in the long run. Like, we wouldn't want somebody to hate Shakeology because they pooped their brains out when really they could have just had half a shake. You know what I'm saying? One way that you can talk about the price of the whole bag, because inevitably you're going to get to the part in your conversation where they ask you how much it costs. And this is kind of going to depend on, you know, whether or not you're talking strictly just about Shakeology or if you're talking about the challenge pack as a whole. But instead of just outright saying, you know, Shakeology is $130 a month, you can say and explain that it comes out to $4 a day. And like right from the get-go, you can say, you know, that $4 a day is money from your grocery budget that you can deduct because you're going to be using Shakeology as a meal replacement. So that's one less meal that you're going to have to buy groceries for. It's going to be right there, you know, for you to use. You don't have to plan out that meal. You already know what you're having. It's also your multivitamin. So if you're buying a multivitamin, you don't have to buy that anymore. So you're consistently just adding value to the benefits of Shakeology. So then obviously they're going to add up, you know, what it costs, and you'll eventually tell them, you know, the cost of the challenge pack or the cost of the bag or whatever. And then hopefully by that point, you have put so much value on what Shakeology can do for them that they're like ready to start yesterday because this product is so amazing and it can do so much for them. If this is something I learned from a video I watched, I'll be honest with you, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to if I need to. If you continue to get price objections, and I really truly believe that as we practice and get better with building the value in Shakeology from the get-go, we're going to see less price objections, but we're still going to have them. So one thing you can do is ask people, well, what would you say that you spend on a healthy meal on average? And for the most part, people are probably going to tell you anywhere from around $3 to $7 because when you think about it, unless you're going to a nice restaurant, when you're cooking at home, you can average a meal per person for $3 to $7. So Shakeology fits right in on the low end of that. And so I think if it gets to that point and you have this discussion and people realize like, oh, well, that is true. I think it's just going to click with them. It's going to make sense. You know, it's a healthy meal and it's not some astronomical price. When you break it down like that, I think it seems like a big price because you have to buy it all at one time. Just glance before I go to the little next section. a couple of just additional tips for working with your customers. Obviously, just like we do with our workout programs, just the same way when we're trying to figure out our clients' goals, needs, wants, whatever. Figure out the same thing for Shakeology. What part of their life can you relate Shakeology to? Like, how can you make them personally see that Shakeology is going to be beneficial to them? Whether it's they want to lose weight, they want to gain weight, they, I don't know, aren't taking a multivitamin, they feel unhealthy, they feel sluggish, they have cravings. Like, just get down to the nitty-gritty. Continue asking questions until you can really figure out ways to say, oh, well, Shakeology can do this for you. Or, oh, well, Shakeology could again, follow up with your challengers after their first shake just to make sure they're not having any issues and that they are doing okay with it. And then help your clients understand that whatever exercise they may be doing, like, there's no bad fitness. Like, getting out and going for a walk for 10 minutes is better than sitting on their couch for 10 minutes. But there is bad nutrition. And sometimes even when we think we have good nutrition, it's really not. But we have this solution for that. And so just helping them understand, again, that Shakeology really is whole food nutrition. It's not protein. It's not a weight loss supplement. I think when you create the value for them, you give clear, simple benefits that relate to their life. You show the value for the price. And even explain, like, that everybody in the family can drink it. You know, if your husband drinks it, Nick has it for breakfast every morning. Cooper has it every single day now. Tell your clients that. Why do you give it to your kid? Help them understand, why it's so wonderful that you would actually give it to your toddler. Okay. Now I'm going to shift gears a little bit to a little bit of what Shakeology is actually doing in our bodies. What time? Okay. First of all, so much of everything that goes on in our body starts with our gut. Obviously, our metabolism and digestion and the obvious things start in our GI system. But there's so much more that goes on all up in there than I even realized, and I'm a nurse. And I went to school for 4 years to learn about the body, and I still am learning things, and it's crazy. So I kind of said this a little while ago, but so when somebody first starts drinking Shakeology, the first few days, basically the digestive enzymes that are in Shakeology are going through our system and literally cleaning it out. They're fixing the pH balance, so helping us get back to a more alkaline state, which is where we're less likely to have organisms that can grow that aren't supposed to be there. So starts to work on our immune system, making our whole bodies healthier right there in our intestines, because it starts there. Okay, so it starts cleaning everything out. The digestive enzymes are doing that, and then after the first few days, when everything's clean and back to the way that it's supposed to be, the bad bacteria, the yeast, all the crap that we don't want is out of the way. So now our body, our gut is primed to start really absorbing all of the wonderful stuff that Shakeology gives to us. One of the probiotic that is in Shakeology is like, quote unquote, the gold standard of probiotics. So the way a probiotic works is it's like a capsule, and the capsule is the protective part, and then the probiotic is inside the capsule. Most of the probiotics that are on the market, like in yogurt or stuff that you could just go buy at the grocery store over the counter, are not strong enough to withstand the acidic environment of our stomachs. So you take a probiotic or you eat yogurt or whatever, and your stomach breaks down that capsule, and then the probiotic never actually makes it to your intestines where it needs to flourish. Of course, though, Shakeology makes it past your stomach, and it gets to where it's supposed to go, and it does what it's supposed to do. So that starts to replace the good bacteria and the normal flora that our intestines need to stay healthy. So tie that back into price a little bit. Part of the reason Shakeology is priced the way it is because it's not got crap ingredients in it. You know, this is stuff that has been researched and proven to be the end-all be-all of health nutrition ingredients that can be put into shakes. So we're not just, hoping that some little probiotic makes it into our intestines and survives the stomach. No, we know that it will. There are 20 different superfoods. Honestly, I think it would be good to know, a couple of the names and like what they do so that we can reference a couple and like actually know a little bit about a couple, right? But I don't think it's important for everybody to like have to know all of the superfoods of Shakeology. I think what you need to know is that they all work well together. They work on decreasing inflammation. And again, that starts in our stomachs and then, in our intestines, but the decrease of inflammation has to manifest itself somewhere. So go back to my IBS stuff that just doesn't happen anymore, and my migraines that just don't happen anymore, and like arthritis for some people that go away. Like all these different wacky problems that suddenly after time on Shakeology don't happen anymore. It's because our bodies have less inflammation because our immune systems are stronger. And really the reason that is because when your gut is not what's the word I'm looking for? When it's not able to absorb all of the nutrients that we're trying to give it, when it's not healthy, it basically changes the way that it absorbs things from inside, and it absorbs protein from the food that we're giving it. And 9 times out of 10, unless you're focusing on clean eating, that's crap food, like processed junk. So that gets into your bloodstream, which then the body realizes is foreign, and so it mounts an immune response to that. So your immune system is just wacky, all because your intestines are not primed and ready to go the way they should be. Does that make sense? The phytonutrients in Shakeology are just another, subtype of superfoods, but their main goal is to decrease stress. Some of them work on the cortisol level in our bodies. They help balance hormones, and they also are important for our immune system. And the adaptogens are kind of the same way. Those are also things that can fight free radicals in our bodies, and free radicals are things that can lead to cancer. So there's amazing stuff in Shakeology that kind of literally goes out and zaps these bad things that are floating around in our bodies. This is something that's so interesting to me, and I had no idea, but there are serotonin receptors in our intestines. 90% of your body's serotonin is actually made in your intestines. Serotonin is a hormone that's directly related to stress, anxiety, depression, mood swings, all kinds of stuff. So if those things can't work right because our gut's not healthy, then it's no wonder that we feel like crap sometimes. And it's no wonder that you have people who say after 5 or 10 days on Shakeology, I can't believe how good I feel. Well, I wonder, now you can explain why they feel good. I'm trying to just skim because I know we're getting close to 45 minutes. One thing to note that I don't know if you may have somebody ask you this question specifically, but on the bag of vegan Shakeology, it does not list vitamins the way a regular bag of Shakeology does. And that's because regular Shakeology has synthetic vitamins in it, meaning like vitamins that were made. But the vegan Shakeology has vitamins from the ingredients, like from the whole foods and the extra things that are in the vegan blend. So it would be like saying for sure 100% that if you ate 1 carrot that you would get 5 grams of vitamin A or whatever, but you can't say that for sure. So they can't put on the bag like for 100% there's this much of this vitamin, this much of this vitamin, because there could be tiny changes based on the amount that's in the bag. If that doesn't make sense, y'all can let me know and I'll clarify better. It is organic, it is gluten-free, and it is kosher, but it's not certified. I didn't know that, like, I knew that it wasn't certified because of the cost related to what it would be if it was certified and all these things, but the reason for it is that for all of the different superfoods, all the different ingredients, each individual one has to be certified organic, gluten-free, kosher. So the process to certify every single ingredient would make the cost to where nobody could afford it. So if your clients ask you that, it's not because it's not or that we don't want it to be, it's just because the cost would be something that we couldn't afford. All right, guys, I think that's it. I think I talked really fast, but does anybody have any questions or anything that they want to talk about? Anything I can help you try to understand better? Anything else?
Can you talk about what the vegan bag has again, the ingredients? I don't think I heard it right.
The ingredients, like the superfoods and the makeup, is essentially the same. The main difference is the protein is plant-based instead of whey. But the bag itself does not list a specific amount of vitamins because they can't say for 100% sure, like this blend has X amount of vitamins because it comes straight from the whole food source instead of a synthetic vitamin that was added to the bag. Does that make sense?
Yes, sorry, I'm muting myself.
Okay.
Morgan, I love how you were talking about how you give it to Cooper. Because I give it to Elise every day too. I make it before I go pick her up from school, and I bring her little cup, and she drinks it, and she's Shakeology, like she tells everybody. And I really feel like as soon as I pull that out, people are like, oh, I need to be drinking this too. If it's good enough for you to trust to give to your child, then it must be worth something. And Josh drinks it too. And so whenever I'm talking to anybody that knows Josh, I'm like, this sucker doesn't drink anything unless it's going to jack him up, which Shakeology doesn't do, but he's drinking it every morning for breakfast. So I think using like the testimonials within your family, because I feel like people are gonna be like, well, of course you think it's good. Like, of course you think it's great. You're a coach. This is your business. But when you say, my husband drinks it, my kid drinks it, my parents drink it. My mom has had super issues with her intestines. I won't go into any more detail than that. And she has not had a problem since she has been drinking Shakeology. Like, she stopped taking every medicine that she's had to take. So I tell people about that. And the biggest thing for me is like cravings. Like, I used to eat chocolate or something sweet every single day. And so whenever I get that craving, I'm like, did I drink my Shakeology today? And the answer is always no, because like that, it just works for me. And it is huge to send a recipe card with your Shakeology sample. Breen gave me a Shakeology sample. And at the time I was already like 100% in with coaching. I was doing it. Whether or not I felt like Shakeology was good, that sounds awful, but we were so desperate at the time in our lives. So, and I tried it, and I remember exactly what I put in. Okay. It was vegan Shakeology, water, ice, in a nasty blender that didn't puree like it at all, walnuts, and maple syrup. Dude, it was disgusting. But I choked it down, and Bream's like, no wonder you didn't like it. And as soon as she told me a better recipe, it made all the difference. Like, it was delicious. And even Morgan was like, I'm not going to like this, Megan. I know I'm not going to like it. Because remember, you had this like aversion to shakes or something. I can't even remember. Protein powder or something. Something. And I was like, no, you'll love it. You'll love it. I promise. Another thing I wanted to add. Hold on. I'm looking at it. Oh, the investment thing, how we were talking about the $4. Morgan's the one that told me about doing that. And I've been approaching it that way, the $4 a day. It's a $4 a day investment. And I've been finding that people are coming back at me with what they can cut back on. So let them talk to you. You know, you don't need to put it in their mouths. You know, they know what they spend money on, and they know what they shouldn't be spending money on, and they know what they should be spending money on. We're all very aware of this. We know we shouldn't go to Target and spend $150 every week on crap in the dollar aisle. Okay? So we can cut back $4 there. You know, we all know this. So when you say it's a $4 a day investment, like, do you think you could make that up somewhere? I know budget's tight. Trust me. My husband's on me all the time. I really say that because it's really true. And people are like, yeah, you know, I could probably not go to Starbucks. Ding, ding. There's your $4. So let people like talk to you about it. Let them tell you what they spend money on, and then you can offer them the cutback in their life. And I did not know that about serotonin.
I didn't either.
Very interesting. But I love the science behind it all. I'm not even a science person, but I love the science behind it all. And that is probably one of my biggest weaknesses, is that I just love Shakeology, and I don't need to be sold anymore on it. I know that I feel amazing because I drink it every day and it works. But that's where it ends for me, and I should probably know more. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think the cravings thing was really big for me because, I mean, I hear people say that a lot. Like, I don't have cravings anymore. And this whole time I was like, well, I guess it's because it's mentally, it's sweet. Like, it's their chocolate craving or whatever. But it's because they're getting the nutrients that they need. They're not deficient. And so I think it's really, it'll be really cool to be able to say, well, let me tell you why that is. Or,
right.
You know.
Right. And I think a lot of people have always, I know that I would chuck it up to, well, it's like your chocolate fix for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure partly is kind of mental for them.
Right.
Because we all know how much like eating can be mental. Like, you don't really think you're full or whatever. But the nutrition part, because I think we live in a world where people are slowly becoming much more conscious of their nutrition and the things that they should and shouldn't be putting into their body. And if you can tell them, like, here's something you can have every single day that is going to like check off everything that you should be putting in your body for today, and then the rest is just additional fuel for you. Mm-hmm. I think that's huge. I think that's a huge game changer. And I don't know if anybody was on the call. I don't even know if I said it. I'm sorry. My mind is in a million different places, but I think I shared last week on the call that I was talking to my realtor in Yuma, and her broker used to buy Shakeology for all of them, and they switched. I don't know if I've said this before. Can somebody nod? Because I can stop talking. Have I said it before? Okay. Anyways, she loves it and she thinks it's great and she got it. But even she doesn't know all the science behind it, and she felt a huge difference just going to a different product. And if last case, I hate doing it, but if people are like, I don't know about this Shakeology, I always just tell them, give it 30 days. Seriously, 30 days, it's going to change your life. But if you're skeptical, you can still return the empty bag. and they'll give you a full refund. That's how much they believe in it. That's how much I believe in it. Just give it a try. You really don't have anything to lose. And I don't really like saying that, but sometimes that's like, well, if they'll return a whole bag, I mean, I guess it should be okay.
Yeah. I said that to somebody at the very end of February before I should have. And I think that it took away from the value a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't wait until, like, an example like you just gave.
Yeah.
So lesson learned, don't say it too soon.
Yeah, I usually say it when I feel like somebody is really dragging their feet or really getting that like buyer's remorse feeling. I always say to them, like, don't worry. Like, you're making the right decision, but after 30 days, if you feel like it's not adding any value to your life or not making you feel any differently, you can still return it. Like, it's already after they're buying. I just don't want them to feel icky about it, icky about buying.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree that what you said in the very beginning is it needs to kind of be a non-negotiable, because I know in my fitness journey, it has made, besides the accountability groups, like accountability groups, Shakeology. So like, and then like working out is like down here. So I feel like, why are we I don't want to say making it an option, but why are we not telling people this? Like, we tell them about how great the accountability groups are. We tell them how great 21-day fix is. Why aren't we telling them how great Shakeology is? I know you are, but if you're ever second guessing it, tell them, because it's great.
Yeah.
That is all I have.
All right. Does anybody else have questions or anything? Is Shakeology a full day's worth of vitamins and nutrients? Yes. It takes the place of a multivitamin.
What was the question? It wasn't sent to everybody, or I didn't get it.
Is Shakeology a full day's worth of vitamins and nutrients?
Oh.
So for the nutrients part, I mean, one shake is not enough to sustain you for a day. Like, it's not enough calories. Does that make sense? But it's got the nutrients that you need, and it has your daily required intake of vitamins. Does anybody else have questions or anything they want to talk about? We will call it a night. You're welcome if that's it. You know what? We should take a picture. We haven't had a team picture on a call in a long time.
Do you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
I just do print screen, right?
I don't know.
All right, everybody smile. Okay, the screenshot was saved. We shall see. All right, y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.